Oh, hold on a second here. Welcome all to Monday Fishing Reports. How are you guys? Thank you for tuning in. No, I am not Roman Castro. Do not adjust your set. Do not adjust your phone. I am Brian Likes to Fish from Instagram. I am the 2021 Spotty Bowl Champion of the World, and I am filling in on Monday, Fishing Reports Monday for Roman. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Hopefully this is my very first night solo, basically. So hopefully do a decent job filling in this big seat for Roman Castro. And hopefully I don't get the boot first night. So let's get this going. Let's start out with some shout outs. Sorry guys, my first night. I'm running the technology and doing the show, so this is new for me. So first in chat, Doug Rubin El Sueño Bit. Thank you so much, Doug. First in chat. Doug, do you live on the water? Like, I see you on Instagram and it seems like you're fishing every single day. I'm so jealous. If you see the word bit, that means that person has liked the stream. Thank you guys for liking it in advance. It really helps us. Me and Roman have worked super hard to try to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. I think we're the hardest two working guys on YouTube that aren't at 1,000 subscribers yet. So if you can, please guys, get out there. Share the stream, please. Tell your friends about it. Anybody that's into fishing, this is the place to be if you want to talk about local fishing reports. And on Wednesday, talk about bay fishing. So next up, we got Michael Tran. What's up, Michael Tran? Bit, that's right. Stingray07. Hey, what's up, dude? One Cool Tuna, Jeff. Hopefully we'll see you on a little bit later. Five Gill Fishing's back. What's up, Dan? How are you? Glad to see you're back. Benji, what's going on out there? I know you're in Arizona, dude. What is the heat like out there in San Diego? It is super hot right now. Eric the Judge Lehman, what's up? Spinning Rod Rebel Marvin, how are you? L Charlie 87, what's going on? Yeah, that's right, Bit. Iron Fish, what's up? How are you? Eric Hernandez, Dave Rage, what's going down? Wharf TV Coach, how are you, Coach? We're going to get you on, maybe not tonight, but real soon. So, guys, Coach will be back with his fishing reports. I've just got to figure out my technology first. Captain Dan, how is the motocross series going, Captain Dan? I've been choking, Captain Dan. I have to be honest with you. I haven't been watching this season that much. But I hope my guy Eli Tomac is doing good. See how he's doing. I'll check it out. Yokinator, what's up? Iron Fish, Dave Rage, I get you. I think I've got Alexis Rodriguez. What's up? See, you've been slaying it lately too. Got a lot of people in chat right now. So guys, if you have a chance, go ahead and hit that like button. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same tradition as Roman and I have been doing forever, which is a pop top. But instead of rate this pop top, I'm going to do rate my dad joke. So I'm going to pop the top, and then don't rate the pop top, rate my dad joke. It's just the way I do it. I don't know why. So here we go. Ooh. I've been waiting for this one. It's hot. I'm in Ramona. It's extra hot. It's like the armpit of San Diego up here. It's always hot. Okay. Ready? Rate this dad joke. There once was a king who was only 12 inches tall. Terrible king, but great ruler. So, rate that dad joke. That's a pretty bad one. So Monday nights are going to be pretty similar. We're going to be, thank you, 5 Gil 9.5. I don't know if you're rating the pop top premature or you're rating my dad joke, but I'll take it. That was a 10 for the pop. Okay, yeah. Rate the dad joke, guys. A 2. Yeah, that's more like it, Dave. Or I'm sorry. 0. Oh, man. All right, I'll work on my jokes. So Monday nights are going to be very similar. I'm going to talk about some fishing reports. I'm going to try to have this kind of an MMFC, also club meeting. So tonight I'm going to try to get on a few MMFC members on. Dave Ridge 9 for the joke. Heck yeah. You can use that, Dave. to talk about their fishing reports. I'll talk a little bit about mine, but first I'm going to give you kind of where we're heading with this tonight. First up, we're going to have Eric the Judge. He's going to come on tonight, and he's going to talk about the WTF League, which happened this weekend out on San Diego Bay, South San Diego Bay to be, and he's going to talk about how the fishing was out there. Then we got Caden coming in. He's been out there slaying in La Jolla. You can see what he's holding right there. Can't wait to hear about his weekend fishing. And then we're going to finalize it with Jeff, One Cool Tuna, if he has time. We're going to get Jeff on the phone also. And Jeff has been, I know, been doing a lot of slaying offshore. So hopefully he'll have some good fishing reports also. And these fishing reports, guys, are live from this weekend. So where else are you going to get this kind of information? So let's go ahead and start out with calling. I'm going to get right into it, guys. I'm not going to, Wednesday night show, we're going to continue doing a lot of the announcements for the club. And the reason I'm talking so fast is I'm trying to keep this specific show to about 30 to 40 minutes. I know a lot of the time, especially on Wednesday, we have a lot to talk about with the bay fishing and guests and a lot of segments and PB shoutouts. And that show goes pretty long, sometimes over an hour. So I'm going to try my best to keep this show, since we have a late start time too, 8 p.m., a little bit shorter. But this weekend, or this Wednesday, a little preview, I think we're going to talk about probably my favorite lures, which are the A-rigs. And, let me get Jeff off there real quick. There we go. The A-rigs on Wednesday and how we set those up and how they worked for me, this spotty bowl, and maybe some other lures. I want to talk about this specific lure on Wednesday too, which is a jig head. I don't know how many of you guys are fishing this, but a jig head with a skirt. This is I think an underrated weapon in the bay that lands spotties, lands anything that fishes out there. And you can fish it so many ways. You can fish this vertically. You can fish it finesse. You can power fish it. There's so many variations of this jig right here. And tune in Wednesday night, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about jig fishing and some A-rig setups. So, Eric, if you're listening, I'm going to go ahead and get him on right now. Give me 1 second, guys. So Eric's going to be calling in. He's going to be my first guest on the phone. Also, I'll be reading the chat the entire show. So if you guys have any questions specifically for me. Hey, Eric.
Hey, buddy.
How are you?
Doing good.
Hey, 1 second. I'm going to make a small announcement here, Eric, about, so if anybody has any questions really quick for me or Eric or any of the other guests that are on tonight, go ahead and type those in chat. I'll be reading the chat, and I'll try to get those through either to me, Eric, or whoever wants to answer those things. So how are you, Eric?
Doing good, and it's hot in Ramona.
I know. You work in a metal, I've been to your shop. It's like a metal steel building, man. I don't know how, man, that's tough. I work outside too, so I know how it is, but I think it's even hotter probably in that steel building.
Yeah, it gets pretty warm.
Ugh, working on those hot engines. Eric, by the way, owner of Ramona Automotive. He's a huge sponsor for Spotty Bowl, and he also he runs Spotty Bowl. So there he is right there, picture of Eric, the judge. He's the one that judges all the pictures that are submitted for Spotty Bowls. And this year, I think we had 80 contestants, and he has judged, I don't know, how many pictures a week are you looking at?
Probably at least 200.
Oh my God. Yeah, because each person will sometimes catch more than 5 fish, and you're looking through, sometimes they don't tell you what their best 5 are, huh? And you have to decipher sometimes.
That is correct. Yeah, sometimes usually the max is 12. So like I said, they have to go through those, but the majority of the people do say their best 5. They'll put them all there, but the majority will say their best 5.
Cool. So, Eric, you put together this league called the WTF League. And I'm going to give a brief description of what that is. Eric is a very creative person. He is the creator of Spotty Bowl. And when we're not fishing Spotty Bowl, Eric's always got some kind of competition, it seems like he's arranging. He arranged this thing called WTF, where it's once a month, is it, Eric?
Yeah, once a month.
Once a month, he puts together a tournament with not too many participants right now. What, maybe 10 or 15 people in that?
Yeah, we had 12 people, 6 teams this last weekend.
6 teams. So you pick a team, a partner, and you and your partner are usually fishing a specific area, and there's specific rules for each tournament. Like one was like first person to 100 fish, or first team to 100 fish, I remember. And then there was one most fish in a 24-hour period. And this weekend it was it heaviest five?
Heaviest five with a mystery bag. You didn't know what you're going to fish until that morning.
What was a mystery bag?
It was just a bunch of different lures. You had like some Ned rig setups. You had some swim bait setups. Had some tailspin setups. So just to like like I said, they just had to bring their own jig heads. Then in the morning, they all got a box full of goodies, and they had to go through. The teammates had to choose what they wanted to use, and each team had the same stuff.
Okay, so you guys launched out of in South Bay. What launch ramp did you guys? I'm assuming all met there in the morning and then launched out there. And
we all met at Chula Vista boat ramp, but they never opened. It was closed all day, so we waited for a long time, and we never. Somehow we'd all decided to just go over to J Street instead, and so we launched out of J Street a little late.
I can remember the MMFC years ago. We tried to organize an event to launch out of Chula Vista Marina, and that place's hours seemed pretty unpredictable. Let's just say it seems like we waited, and then we just ended up, because we wanted to fish South Bay, so we ended up launching out of Pepper Park instead. But yeah, that Chula Vista Marina, I don't know if that's private or public, but they have unpredictable hours over there, so you got to check those hours on that place.
Yeah, I don't know where to check, though. We kind of looked, but then we found out later on that it never opened.
L. Charlie wants me to ask you, Eric, will Spotty Bowl be reaching L.A. next year? L.A. area.
That is our goal, is try to expand to L.A. next year.
Wow, guys. You guys in L.A.? Ooh, there goes my voice. You guys in L.A. getting a Spotty Bowl? Wow, Eric. That's a lot of extra work, but that would be cool. Yeah, Spotty Bowl champion of L.A., Spotty Bowl champion of San Diego. Man, maybe we could do a champion versus champion too for the world champion, huh? Maybe we could do 3 districts. I don't know. That's thinking ahead, huh?
Yeah. So the goal next year is just to expand up there, then let them have their own league. We'll have our own league. Then maybe in the future we'll have a North versus South type thing.
That sounds pretty good. So, Eric, this is what everybody's waiting for. How was the fishing this weekend?
Fishing was so great if you didn't want to catch anything. So it was a Dinkville. It was. So when we launched out of Pepper Park or whatever that area is over there, you couldn't fish that little channel. You had to fish south of it. So you can catch, it seemed like all the fish you wanted as soon as you left that area, but they were like 0.3 of a pound, 0.4 of a pound, and everybody left there and they didn't catch anything. It was small. It was small.
My experience with South Bay is it's like a mixed bag down there. Usually there's a lot of small spotties, but they're small. And I wonder if it, because how deep was the water and what was the water temperature down there? What were you guys fishing at?
Seemed like the majority of the fish were caught between 3 and 8 feet of water.
Yep.
And the deeper we went, didn't see any bites. The water, someone said they saw the water up to, I think, 79 way down at the end. I don't know how true that was, but I didn't even pay attention to the water temp.
Yeah, sometimes I think those, especially the spotties, they like that comfort zone of maybe 68 degrees or so. So if you get way, way down there south, I think sometimes the water may be just a little too warm for those big guys, and they bolt. Just my opinion. I think that's maybe what happened. Those big guys maybe bolted. There is some deep channels over there, though. Sometimes you can get lucky and get a big fish in there. But if you do go down to South Bay and you want to try for leopard sharks or guitar fish or stingrays, there's a ton of those down there. Can't get those so much on lures, not with my luck. But if you drop some shrimp or squid or live bait down there, it's just a mixed bag. You never know what you're going to get down there.
Yeah. So the Corvina were jumping out of the water everywhere. And I think we only got 2 the whole day.
2 Corvina?
Yeah, I got one, and then I think Jesse got one.
What'd you get it on?
I got mine on the A rig. I think Jesse got his on a crankbait.
Oh, nice. Right on. So fishing report for South Bay is a lot of dinks, huh? So if you're gonna fish again this weekend for spotties, Eric, where are you going?
Mission Bay.
Yeah, I know you know some good spots down there. Me and you fished for about 10 hours a couple weeks ago, and I think we know where they're at in Mission Bay. Mission Bay. There's only a few spots, right?
Just a few spots.
All right,
So,
Eric. What was the big bag? Who won?
Chuck and Andy won, but the way the event worked was your five heaviest fish, and because of the mystery bag, every lure that you caught a fish on was an extra half of a pound. As long as it was a different lure, it was
Gotcha.
another half of a pound. And the heaviest bag with that added was 7.6 pounds.
Five fish. So, so was that because somebody got one big one, or they got a was it all
Uh,
spotties and two
uh, they,
corvinas?
no, they got a 2 pound halibut,
Oh,
and they
okay.
used six different lures to catch a fish, which added another like pound and what is that, 2.5 pounds to their weight.
Gotcha.
So
What's the next WTF event?
it's Mexican bingo. So I'm going to pronounce the word wrong, but it's Loteria.
Uh huh.
So we're going to have a card with 16 different fish on it, and you have to get two different rows of four. First team that does that will win.
Fishing bingo. Oh, that sounds fun. Well, Eric, once again, thank you so much. Congratulations, Chuck and Andy, for being the WTF champions right now. I know you guys hold those belts until the next month. And has anybody retained it twice yet? Or has it changed hands all 3 or 4 times?
It has changed hands every time, but every time we have like the most fish, Kevin and Lane win it. Whenever we do a heavy, they lose it.
Those two guys are slayers. Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
So
All right, Eric, thank you so much for the fish report, and thank you for everything you do for this club, the MMFC, and thank you for arranging Spotty Bowl. I know this was a hard night to give me a call, so I'm going to let you off the hook early, Eric. I'll be talking to you hopefully on Mondays coming up. Thank you, Eric, so much.
thank you, and thank you guys.
And take Eric out with a round of applause. Thank you, Eric. Can't thank that guy enough. He's always arranging something for this club to do. If you guys didn't know and you're new to the show here, we have a club, MMFC. Um, can one of my can somebody in chat type in the link for Discord? You can only get into the MMFC through our Discord. Go in there, and that's where we arrange all of our outings. That's where we're in there talking. We're showing our pictures. So if you guys aren't part of the MMFC, it's a local club. We promote learning. It's a great environment for newcomers. Everybody's welcome. There's no charge. We just ask that, like Roman says, don't be a jerk. That's all we ask. Everybody come in with a positive attitude. Everybody in here has a positive attitude, and that's all we're trying to do here. Eric is the man. That's right, Dave Rage. What's up, Leonard? Let's go bait creepers. 5 gill fishing. How are you? Arnie, what's up, dude? Okay, next up, I'm gonna bring in. I'm kind of talking fast tonight, guys, because I'm trying to keep this show to, like I said, 30 minutes, and I got a lot of people to talk to here. So next up, I'm gonna bring in Caden. Caden's been out there slaying in La Jolla. So Caden, let's get him on the phone real quick. Eric is the man. That's right. And if you guys have any questions for any of these guys or me, spotty fishing, any type of fishing, put it in the chat. I'm reading the chat right now.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Caden. Thank you for coming on Fishy Hour.
Yeah, of course.
If you guys don't know, that's Caden. He's Stingray in the chat. He's on here. He participates in Discord all the time. Would you consider yourself a bay fisherman, or are you like a La Jolla guy?
I like to consider myself a bay fisherman because that's kind of how I started, and I've only recently in the past year started venturing out to La Jolla.
Gotcha. I just got my kayak, Caden, and I'm thinking one of these days, once I get good on that thing, I might have to go out there with you, since everybody's got to have a first trip out there, right? Maybe we could get together and you could show me how to do it.
I will say this: launching and then landing is sometimes a bit fun. I
It
had
seems
a little
like
bit of time.
it seems like everybody that tells me a story has flipped it, or something has happened in the up at the beach at the launch area.
Yeah, I've never flipped mine yet. I've gone out there a total of 5 or 6 times at this point. Not really had any issues or any kind of scare of potentially flipping it. But I like to err on the side of caution, so I always go when I know the waves are going to be really low, and always go with people, you know.
Yeah, buddy system's always the best. I mean, you never
Mhm.
know what's going to happen out there. So, Caden, thank you again. Couple questions. So, I've never launched out of La Jolla. Where do you guys park when you're launching a kayak out of La Jolla?
So let me actually get my map up. There's a spot. So right where the kayak rentals are, actually, right by the cove. The street is. It's Avenida de la Playa,
Gotcha. And
right there by the La Jolla Shores boat launch.
that's that like it's like a long road kind of pointed directly at the beach, right?
Yes, yeah. So if you've ever been to like Crystal Pier out in
Uh-huh.
Pacific Beach, it's just like that, where you got that main road that goes right to the pier. It's kind of a similar situation with that, with how they have the parking there, or have the route to the boat launch there.
Gotcha. So you pull up in the morning, you unload your kayak, and I'm assuming you push your kayak from your truck or car, however you got it there, to the beach.
Yeah, so what I did is I parked on Camino del Oro, which is a side road. That's the closest side road to the beach. Unload my kayak there. I get everything loaded up, throw my wheels in, and then I just head out to launch. From there, I just prep everything, you know, make sure
Gotcha.
everything's kept down, and take the wheels out, get the live well all set up, and then from there I just kind of waited for it to get a little bit lighter out, because I don't have a light on the back of my kayak right now. My old one stopped working, so waited for get a little bit lighter conditions out there, and then once it did, I just started dragging it to the surf.
Geez, so you're out there probably 5 a.m. ish, maybe a little earlier.
I got Yeah, I got there at like 5:15, and I got into the water at like 5:45.
To me, like the first what 2 or 3 hours of sunrise is like that's like the golden. There's no wind usually. You know,
Mm.
the ocean's nice and calm. It's glassy. You know, none of the tourists have hit the beach yet. You know, so it's like the prime 2 hours for me, first thing in the
Yeah,
morning.
yeah, I really liked. So I remember last year when I hooked that one and lost that one last year. We were out there. I was out there till like 5 in the evening. You know, that was a day
Wow.
where it was really calm all day, which is kind of rare.
Was that the
But
day like I was out there in my boat and you were hooked on that yellowtail and I shot like all the way across the bay to see it and like right when I pulled up you lost it?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, that was
yeah.
devastating. And you had the
And
right setup. I don't know. It must have just nicked the line or something. Just it was. I mean, you were legitimately hooked up on that thing too.
yeah, that setup was a little bit on the light side, and the reel I was using just wasn't really putting out enough drag.
Gotcha.
So the fish was running quite a bit, but I really beefed up my setup this year. Like I was using a 30 to 60 rod with a Penn Torque 2-speed.
Gotcha. Wow. So you're not giving those fish an inch anymore. Sometimes that's what it is. Even with spotty fishing, you know, if you give them, I always say if you give them that second, sometimes that's all it
Yeah,
takes. The faster in bass fishing, like when you watch the pros on TV when they're fishing largemouth, those guys are cranking that thing in. It's water skiing across the water. They want to get that thing in so fast they don't want to give those fish a second. So
yeah, and
if you have a setup like that,
I've heard a lot of those guys. They'll take their drag washers out, and they'll take off all the grease. They get more drag.
just, just fully buttoned down. Yeah, I mean, when you do that though, it's not really finessing it. Like that's one of the reasons I like that A rig for spotties is 65 pound straight braid. I can just muscle them in. Okay, so
Yeah.
your beach launch went good. You headed out. What's the first thing you do once you get out there? Are you making bait? Are you looking around on the fish finder?
Yeah, so first thing I do right when I get past the protected area, I just stop and make bait. Bait was really, really good out there. Like in all the times that I've been out there, this was hands down the best day for bait. There were just bait balls everywhere, you know. You couldn't go 5 minutes without going over a bait ball.
That's
So
crazy.
got some Spanish mac.
Just dropping the sabiki.
Yeah, dropping the sabiki. They were in like 10, 20 feet of water, so I didn't have to drop far before I had a full stringer of them. So I started trolling around. I was trolling at like a mile and a half an hour, which was what I came to find out a little bit fast.
Gotcha. So you're trolling, you're watching your fish finder, and you're observing your speed, and let me put this scenario together. So you've cast it out. I'm fly lining. I'm assuming a live Mac behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're trolling that thing, you're watching your fish finder, and you're trying to keep that speed at you said a half mile to 1 mile per hour.
Yeah, and I like to kind of change it up. Sometimes I'll dip. I'll just kind of stop pedaling and let it kind of stop and then go again, just to kind of give it a little bit of a change in pace, because I've had some of my best bites when I change something up, or something differs from what it is currently doing.
Yeah. So sometimes on that pause too, all of a sudden they're following and it pauses and they're like, hey, what the heck? This thing all of a sudden stopped. I'm going to snag them up, huh? So
Exactly.
All right. So are you primarily fishing? Did you go out to La Jolla with a goal, primarily fishing? That everybody can see this picture on the screen right now, but primarily fishing to try to catch yourself a yellowtail. Is that what you're out there to do?
That was what I was primarily fishing for. If you look on there, I got some stuff for like calico, but I'll be real, I didn't even take a single one of those rods out of the rod holder the whole time I was there.
When there's so much life, when you go to La Jolla and you see the birds everywhere and you see all that bait and you see those big schools of bonita and it's just some mornings it's like that, Kate, and there's just like so much life out there that today there's going to be some kind of topwater bite and today's your day, right?
Oh yeah, and today or that day, Sunday yesterday, Sunday, there was so much action. There was a point where there were yellowtail busting on the surface. Everybody starts paddling over, and it was there was a lot of action out there. There were four just in the time I was there from 5:45 to 1. There was 4 yellowtail caught.
Wow. So guys, you're getting the live fishing report. So what day was that? Sunday?
Sunday, yeah, and two of them were courtesy of the Sea Samurai himself.
No way, he was out there. What was he fishing from, his boat or the yak?
Yeah,
yak. He was. If Kevin's out there on his yak, then it's gonna be good because that guy.
Well, no, out on his boat. I think he had like family he was out with.
Oh, okay, he was out on his boat. That
yeah,
guy. I've never been around a person so as much as I fish around Kevin occasionally when I'm lucky. And that guy has the eye. I've never fished with somebody that has quite the eye. I think other guests have said this too on the show. That's like, when Kevin has that eye where he can spot flashing or something that's going. I don't have enough yellowtail experience to spot that. But yeah, if you see Kevin fishing, guys, keep an eye on him.
go chat with him. But huge thanks to him too, because I was out there. When I first caught my yellowtail. I went out and I was cruising around, and then I went and asked him if he'd take a picture, So he's the one that got the pictures for me.
Oh, cool! Right on this picture. That's cool.
Yeah, and I was gonna head in. I was gonna call it a day there, But he's like, "Hey, man, I'll throw it in the ice chest for you if you want to keep fishing." So I mean, huge thanks to him. That was awesome. Really thankful he was out there and he offered that. It was really generous of him, and I really appreciate that.
That's cool. Thanks, Kevin, for doing that. Kevin is part of the MMFC. He's also fishing reps on Instagram. Kevin Nakata, Sea Samurai. Caden, so let's get into this fish. So you're trolling half a mile per hour. You're pausing, and all of a sudden, what happens? So run me through the scenario of catching this thing.
So I actually didn't catch it on the fly line. I was kind of observing how the other people were fishing it. I'd seen Kevin land one on his boat. And then, first there's one guy that landed one, and then Kevin hooked up. So I just started chatting, I'm like, hey, what are you guys using? And it turned out, that there were some squid in the area. So I dropped my sabiki down, caught some live squid. And off topic thing, squid have amazing aim. I got this up, and it's just as soon as it got out of the water, shot a glob of ink at me.
That's so gross.
Right at my face too. Luckily, I dodged it.
Did it go in your mouth?
No, it missed me. Fortunately, I had to I dodged my head out of the way, Matrix style. But man, they got the aim on. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, those things are. You're right.
So I got that.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. I got it in and I just threw it down on my dropper rig, and I was kind of just observing people. There were a bunch of people out there on their kayaks, and I was just kind of watching how they were doing it, and they were going real slow. They were just drifting,
Gotcha.
barely pedal
Just
action.
letting that bait swim out there, huh?
Yeah. So I dropped my dropper rig or dropper loop all the way to the bottom, and I just waited,
Huh.
and threw out my fly line through a pretty medium-sized Spanish Mac on there.
Gotcha.
And heard my clicker start clicking on my dropper loop. Looked over. 2 seconds later, the line started zipping off. So I was in the process of actually reeling in my fly line. So I finished reeling in, and in the 5 seconds that took, the fish had already gone out and then around and tangled my braid all in my rigs that were in my rod holders.
Holy smokes!
So luckily, I had my drag low enough to where that didn't cause too much of an issue. I had to untangle it, but by the time that was done, it had taken easily almost half of my spool. So I finally got it untangled, put the drag up, and I was using a circle hook, so
right.
It just felt
to wind down on it.
It was freaking on, yeah. So I started just cranking on it in the high gear, and then it was making some runs, and then I got to the point where I was right over it, and I clicked it into the low speed and just cranked on it, and it was still putting up a pretty good fight. Whole fight took about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes.
How far did it pull that yak?
Oh boy.
Were you on the other side of La Jolla by the time you got that thing up?
Fortunately not. Fortunately, I was pretty far away from kelp, so it was just kind of open water fishing it. No sea lions in the area this time.
So perfect scenario. No kelp, no sea lions. You had the right setup this time. You weren't gonna let this thing get loose. So you get it to the boat. I'm assuming you gaffed it because I see the picture up here that looks like you took that baby home and.
Oh man, I was hooting and hollering out there. I was so excited. I was in disbelief that I'd freaking finally got one, because I've been trying to do this for a year now.
Oh, congratulations. People don't realize, that how much work and thought and what we do to like go out and specifically catch a specific fish, no matter what you're targeting. There's a lot of thought and, buying gear and, listening to things and watching things. It seems like once you hook that thing and get it in there, it's like all that hard work that you've done like all year long. It's like, finally off your shoulders, you did it, right?
Biggest advice I could ever give to anybody who wants to go out and fish yellowtail is talk to people. Talk to people who have done it. Talk to people who are trying. Talk to everybody of all experience levels. Just get that input from people and then learn on that. Learn from their mistakes. Listen to what they say they've done wrong. Listen to what you've done wrong, What I did wrong last year was I went out there thinking I had the right gear, and I just, the reel I had ended up just not being enough for it.
Yeah, I mean, when you get those big ones like you did, I'm not a yellowtail fisherman, I'm a bass fisherman, but I have caught plenty of yellowtail. But you don't realize how strong compared to like what we're normally fishing in the bay, like the spotties and the calicos, and when you're pulling up the sheephead and the rockfish, you don't realize how strong it is until you hook into one of those big yellowtails.
Yeah.
It's like it's a whole different it's like a whole different animal. It's not this type of fishing that we're used to pulling in these. I mean, we're fishing in the bay, we're fishing for spotties, and we're fishing this lightweight gear, and they're a lot of fun, but they're not the type that's gonna like work your muscles, work your back. You know what I mean? Like actually put up that kind of fight.
They're a pretty good fighting fish, spotties, but yellowtail are just they're on a whole new level,
Those suckers are mean. Those suckers are they've got energy to spare too, man. Just when you think they're, you've got them, it seems like they just don't give up. They don't give up till the bitter end.
Oh yeah, dude. And it was, when I got that thing in, I was just, I didn't even know what to think. I was just staring at it, smiling,
Well, Caden, I know you're at work, so I don't want to hold you too long. Did you get a length and a weight on that sucker?
Oh yeah. So after bleeding, it ended up, I waited at my house, ended up weighing 33.
Woo, that's a beast. To me, that's especially on a yak. Man, that's awesome. So you're able to launch from a beach, pedal out on your kayak, and land a 30-pound yellowtail. That is amazing to me. Where else in the country can you do that? That is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a fun time.
Well, congratulations on your catch. Thank you so much, Caden, for participating on fishing reports. That's an amazing fishing report, guys. Caden, sorry, dude. You got to get back to work, man.
It's all good, man. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you, Caden. Hope to have you back again. Bye.
Sounds good. You guys have a good night.
Thank you. There you guys go. Caden, Stingray 101 or 01, thank you so much for coming in. HTX Polestar, what's up? Shoo! Yeah, that's right, man. How's it in Texas right now? I bet you it's a major heat wave out there. HTX Polestar in the chat. That's our Texas chapter. We've got chapters. We're looking for chapters around the world, right? So we've got Texas. We've got some up north. MMFC Texas, that's right. Eric, the judge, I got my yellowtail cooked from Kevin's boat. Wasn't that hard. Yeah, Kevin, I think during one of the WTFs or something, Kevin went out there and cooked everybody yellowtail from his boat. Kevin, you're the man. Dave Rage, what's up, Eric? What's up, Jeff? You're up next. So, guys, it is 8:37. I'm gonna do a quick fishing report with Jeff, who's been fishing offshore. Mainly, I think, for bluefin, but we're going to check in here with Jeff real quick to see what he has to say. I'm going through the chat here real quick. Carl Black says, sounds amazing. I need a trip to La Jolla. That's right, Carl. Carl, are you? If you launch out with your boat, let me know. I'll go out there. We'll launch our boats together, see if we can get one of these things. It's been a while since I've gotten a yellowtail. I usually don't target them, but I'm ready to snag one of those things up. So, Jeff's up next. Owner of One Cool Tuna. Let's see if we can get him on the phone here. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Hear me? I can. Can you turn up your, either talking to your phone a little closer or turn it on speakerphone or something? I can hear you, but it's pretty quiet. Thanks, Eric.
Oh, there we go. How's that?
That's better. Much better.
There we go.
For you guys.
The headset.
I can hear myself in the background, too. Turn down
there we
your
go.
speaker.
How's that?
Perfect, Jeff. So if you guys don't know Jeff, there's a picture of him up in the top corner. This is Jeff from One Cool Tuna. He makes these jigs right here. Thank you, Jeff, for giving me this sucker right here. Oop, let me get it on there.
Not a problem, bud.
These are the best irons out there. They are machine finish OCT 10. These things are awesome, Jeff. Thank you. I'm still have yet to catch my yellowtail on this or a fish on this even. I need to get out there and try that thing out. But Jeff, thank you for coming on.
That's the tuna one too, bud.
This is the tuna one?
Yeah. They've been getting big tunas on those.
Yeah, I like this thing. It's got like a, why can't I, my arm work here? It's got like a pineapple looking finish on there.
Yep.
That's cool. So Jeff, how are you?
So I haven't, good. I didn't go out this weekend. I was down at the docks catching some reports. And but I'm heading out next Wednesday for a 6-day.
Wow, that's where are you guys headed?
We don't know yet.
South or north? I guess I should ask.
Don't know yet.
Don't know yet.
It's
Captain's call.
It's still up in the air, waiting for the fish to really dictate which way we're going to go. If we go south, the problem is that there's some big fish down south, down along the ridge. But there's not much in between. So it would be like a day and a half run down, get into the zone, fish a couple of days down there, and then have to make another run back up this way, but nothing much in between. We were also discussing possibly going north. The bluefin had moved out past San Clemente.
Gotcha.
And out there toward Cortez, but also up north to the Channel Islands, the white sea bass have been going off pretty heavy.
Holy mackerel. So it's like take your pick, right? So if you're going to go out for one fish, Jeff, I see in this picture I'm showing, you've already got your, what's that, 180-pound bluefin? Is that what that thing was?
Yeah, it was a 190. Yeah.
What
190
fish,
there.
what's your fish you want to target then? If you get the choice, are you going for white sea bass? Are you going for another tuna? What are you going for?
I'm honestly, we're kind of pushing for that white sea bass run because I've never really fished the northern Channel Islands. San Clemente and Catalina have been probably the only islands I've really fished to the north, and it'd be a really unique, special trip to go up that north way and see what's up there, and then we could come back and hit the bluefin on the way back.
Yeah, I mean, in 6 days, you might be able to like run the whole gauntlet, right? Rockfish,
Yeah,
tunas,
yeah, the
white
options,
sea bass, everything.
yeah, the options are really wide open at that point.
I have I'm a bass fisherman. I always say that, but normally I'm on here talking about bay fishing with Roman on Wednesdays. So I mainly fish the bays, but occasionally Kevin and Roman and a few of the guys force me to leave my bay and go out there and target these things. Have you heard anything about? I see all these boats coming in at Dana and unloading all these bluefin, and they're not very big boats. They're same size as my boat. So I know that these bluefin are within striking distance. What have you had your ear to the sidewalk or whatever that is to hear anything about these bluefin?
Yeah, they're believe it or not, there's been some reports of a few small groups actually just a little bit north of Oceanside
Gotcha.
and probably only about 10 to 15 miles out.
Wow. Wow, that is close. So
So
10 to 15
you could
miles.
look, you could go out looking for them, and then to the south as well. There's always a group if you can find the if you can get close to the pen boats. There's always stragglers hanging around the pen boats.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've been out with Roman maybe 2 times this year, I think, and with once with Kevin. And we saw him, but we couldn't get him to bite. That's the tricky thing with these bluefin. It's so frustrating when you see like a half acre of fish, at the surface feeding, and you're throwing it right into the middle, and you think you just can pull LeBron James and throw that thing and sink it right into its mouth. But it's so frustrating when those things are right in front of you and you can't get one of
That's what they say, bluefin being bluefin.
them. So that 180 pounder, what'd you get that thing on?
Believe it or not, I got that was on a live bait on a dropper rig. Um, but I was on the Makara 20 with 100 pound braid with 100-pound top shot.
100-pound braid, 100 pound. Wow. So you were set up for that thing.
Yeah, yeah, they were those on that trip. Those fish were just. You,
Huge.
I caught one on 60 pound and said, okay, that's it. Put that thing away.
I've
And
been I've been
everything else
involved
was
in one of those nightmares. Everybody got to see it too, Jeff. It's
yeah.
horrible.
And then put everything away. Just kept the 80 and 100 pound out at that point, and just I said, nah, that's not it. I mean, I pitched the iron a couple of times on the bow on with 60 pound on that, but didn't get any bites on it. But the one I did real well on, the one on 60 pound though, I got on the slide on a
Ah.
Colt Sniper.
Oh wow. Cool. Yeah. Cold snipers. Kevin
And
taught me how to rig one of those up.
I ended up hooking up about four other fish that way and handed those off to guys. Once I got my two, I was like, I got two, I'm done.
Nice. Yeah. I mean those. I pulling. I pulling my 65 pounder. I was pretty much done too. But I mean, man, pulling in a 180 pounder, Jeff. Jeez, that's got to be a workout.
Yeah. It believe it or not, bluefin. I mean, they can be a real pain in the ass sometimes, but
Hey, hold on.
other
Yeah,
times they can. I'm sorry,
that's all right.
but other times they'll give you a fight for about 5-10 minutes, and then they'll kind of give up. So it all depends. Lately, though, they've been a lot meaner out
Yeah.
there. So they've been taking lessons from yellowfin, I think.
Yeah, they're angry. We've been out there putting the beat down. They're getting sick of it. They're learning,
Yeah.
getting angry. Jeff,
But there
go ahead.
was some reports though locally. I mean, the San Diego today they had 76 yellowtail and 64 bonita.
Oh, shoot.
So
I like
they
fishing bonita.
they're still
Bonita is a fun fish, actually. If you go out there with lightweight gear and, if you're not having much luck with the big guys, bonita are still, to me, with the
oh
right gear,
yeah,
a lot of fun. You can
oh
have a lot
yeah,
of fun catching bonitas.
yep, definitely. And then The Polaris Supreme, they were coming in from I think a 4 day, and they had 80 bluefin with up to 150 pounds.
Wow.
Most of them were in the 60, 80 pound range, so they were doing good.
That's a
The
lot of beef.
Vagabond had come in on Sunday from a day and a half, and they had about 30 bluefin, with the biggest being about 160 to 175 pounds, and a lot of yellowtail.
Holy smokes.
Dorado are still out there, fairly close. They're mixed in the kelp with the yellowtail. So the yellowtail and the Dorado are doing very well if you want to venture out just a little bit offshore.
HTX Polestar asks, are Bonita edible? Yes, to some.
Oh, God.
Some people eat
Yeah.
those. Yeah, some people, one of our members, I forget who, actually, I think ate one on his kayak. Probably was Muto. Somebody ate one on their kayak, I know. Coach says Bonita are edible when bled, iced, fresh. So, yeah, Coach would know. What's up, Roman?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you got to
Sorry,
bleed them out right away, and then get them ice cold. And if you do that, it is really delicious, sashimi style. And then also really grilled very lightly, like 30, 60 seconds on each side.
Okay.
It can be really good. But yeah, the secret is you got to bleed them out right away, and you got to keep them iced down. You can't put it in a sack and let it sit on the deck all day.
It's because they'll go mush on you, right?
They'll go mush on you real quick.
That seems like my experience with a Bonita. I think I was on a half-day boat once, and they just threw it in that burlap sack, and by the end of the day, it was just a mushy mess.
Oh, yeah. That's nasty.
Jeff, I really appreciate you coming on and giving us that report. Hopefully, you'll come on in the future on Mondays. If I can if Roman doesn't give me the boot tonight, I see the bosses in the chat right now, Jeff. So,
not a problem, brother.
I really appreciate that report, and keep putting out those awesome baits. Once again, one cool tuna. Jeff, me and him are working, and Roman are working on a specific bait. What's it up? Don't give up what it is, but what's the update on that? When am I going to see that thing?
I'm actually talking to the machinist this week, and we're going to work out some details. We're just trying to finalize the metal on it, and trying to get the fixture made up to hold it. So
when you get the actual bait and they're available, will you come on Wednesday night with me and Roman and let us do the exclusive launch of that? I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, definitely.
Awesome. That's cool.
Oh, definitely.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm not going to give any hints, but I might be able to fish that thing everywhere I fish. So I can't wait, Jeff, to get my hands on that. Jeff, thank you once again. I'm going to take you out with a round of applause. Thank you, Jeff, for coming on.
Thank you, brother.
Good night. Oh, it's always good to talk to one of our local bait makers, Jeff, OCT10. If you guys, these are available at Dana. They're available everywhere locally. So get out there and support Jeff. Get one of these OCT10 lures. And guys, that is it for my guests. I hope you guys enjoyed Monday fish reports. Coach, I'm going to try to get you on next week. And if I'm on here next week, Roman, let me know. Don't get nervous now. Roman's here, Brian. I know. OCT, that's right. Roman, you're not even a moderator yet. What's up, Leonard? So I'm going to say, guys, tune in this Wednesday. Like I said, I'll give you a little preview. I'm going to be talking about on Wednesday with Bait Fishing and Roman and Brian, this little sucker. This may have done me pretty good during Spotty Bowl. So I'm going to explain to you guys how to fish this little guy on Wednesday, which is a jig head, and I'm going to tell you what this little dangly, some of you guys may not know what this is. I'm going to tell you what this little dangly thing is here, and we all know what that thing is. And then I'm also going to talk about rigging these babies, what worked for me. I want to know what worked for you guys. If you guys use A-rigs, there's so many ways you can customize these. There's so many different A-rigs on the market. I'm going to talk about those also on Wednesday. Oh, Roman's going to kill me. I got to go exit that. Somebody talking about that on Wednesday. Roman, you're eating. Great show, Brian. Thank you, Carl Black. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to get my production level up, guys. I know it's not quite there yet, but I appreciate everybody tuning in. We got Benjamin. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing okay up there in Arizona. Hopefully, I know you work on air conditioner, so hopefully you got one cranking your house. Roman, thank you, boss, for giving me the opportunity. Enjoy that meal, enjoy your night off, but hey, we're all waiting for you to come back one day. So thank you, Jeff, for coming on. Thank you, Eric, for coming on. Thank you, Caden, for coming on. Carl Black, thank you for participating. As always, Dave Rage, Doug, Ruben Espanol, I'm sorry, El Sueño, Arnie, thank you for coming in here. Wharf Coach, we'll get you back on Fishing Reports here sometime soon. Yokinator, what's up? Leonard, Bay Creepers, how's it going, Leonard? Haven't seen you for a while. Hopefully everything's going good. I'd like to go out fishing with you. Tyler, what's up? HTX Polestar out of Texas, how are you? Captain Dan, I hope all is going well up there. Captain Dan's running the motocross show. Legend up there, Captain Dan. We got, if you didn't hear your name, you're not typing in chat. I'm trying to get everybody here. I'm new to this, guys, so, oh yeah, what am I doing? I'm going to end this with another dad joke. What the heck, right? Turn this down a little bit. Attempt to turn this down. Technology. Okay, here's a couple dad jokes. I'm trying to figure out a way how to end Mondays. Do you guys want me to do movie reviews? We've kind of ditched those from Wednesdays. Do you want me to end on a movie review? I'm just curious. I like 80s and 90s movies, and I like to review them, but I just thought maybe you guys are getting sick of those. So let's do a dad joke here. I just got my wife a refrigerator for her birthday. I can't wait to see her face light up when she opens it. Pretty good one. How many ears does Captain Kirk have? 3. A right ear, a left ear, and the final front ear. And with that, guys, thank you again for tuning in. I'm Brian Likes to Fish on Instagram. Thank you, Roman, for giving me opportunity. Yeah, bring your movie reviews back. This weekend, this Wednesday, I'll see you on Wednesday night. But if see you Wednesday night. But if not, I'll be on the water this weekend, snagging grass, catching bass. Thank you, guys. I hope I didn't bore you to death. Hope that was a good first show. Thank you so much.